Hi there. I thought I'd share a bit of a demo about how Ask Astro works. So right now we're in Interstellar Interactive. It's a pretend organization we've created so we can demonstrate some of the features. So right now we're on the home page, and when you come in here you can see what data has been updated recently, but also here is where anything that we call an emerging matter would appear too. So you can see here we actually have two emerging matters. Now, an emerging matter is something you can set for a watch list to look for certain changes in your data, in your business performance. For instance, you might want to create something that looks for when you reach a threshold or go over a threshold, or it could be market changes, anything like that that you really want to have Astro checking to make sure that it's going to tell you when those things happen. I'll show you how that works behind the scenes first. Under the settings, you can see here we have an emerging matters watch list. You can literally just add as many here as you want, and what Astro will do is will look for those changes in your data and then let you know immediately how that works. So you can see here we actually have a decline in productivity and new enterprise digital tools for this agency that are coming through. One good thing you can do is click and learn more about what's going on here. You can see here it's got a lot of information about why that has become either an opportunity or a risk, and it will help you work back and forth. You can ask more information about that and see what changes you might want to make. Also, that's taken us into our chat section. So just like any of the other chat functions, you can come in here and do ad hoc queries. For instance, you might want to say something like, how is our revenue looking for the quarter? If you want to just ask any kind of casual questions, or this is where often you can use the data that behind the scenes and create new pieces of information out of it. So you can see right now what it's doing is going off and looking for any information within your database. It's looking for real data, as well as it can go out and look externally as well for you if you've asked a different type of question. Now you can see here, every time it's going off and finding something, you can actually see where it's finding that information from. So you can always see whether it's coming from a trusted source or whether it's coming from your data or other data. So you can see here, it's giving me an update because one of the interesting things with this pretend company is I haven't actually updated the last quarter. So it's pretty much saying I'm short on my revenue. So that's a good sign that it's actually picking that up, and because I haven't actually updated its pretend data yet. So that's how the chat works. Now let's go to the data section. In the data section, this is where you give the Ask Astro brain its context. So this is where you can drag and drop existing documents, existing things that you have already, and put them into really controlled folders here and give them interpretations about how Astro's brain might want to use those. Or even better, if you can connect directly to some of these data sources. Any business critical data source that you'd like to connect to, just let us know. If we don't have a connector here, we can do those things very quickly. So these are some common ones that we have here. And once you connect with them, it's pretty much the usual type of permissioning of connect, give permission to be able to access that data, and it will start immediately coming in. So once you have set those things up in here, that means a lot of the other areas of Astro will become really important. Now that you've loaded the data in, you can go to sections like the monitoring section and really start honing in on that data. Now, dashboards have always been a little bit hard to create and remain current, so we've made that extremely easy. So what we have been able to do here is be able to quickly create a dashboard. You can create as many dashboards as you like. This can be as simple as combining different data sets that you have here, and we can easily, you can see here we've added expenses and expenses by period. You can go in here, and how that works is you can give it a title. This might be let's use it just going to see what I've got here. Here we can say this is around costs. I'm just going to call this costs just as a demonstration. You can see here it's going to give you a little bit of a breakdown of what that little table is going to look like once you've created it. You can show the data table underneath it or not. So you can create a lot of interesting things here, including bar graphs, line graphs, or just a really big number. So once you've done that, we go add. You can see it's ended up here, and I go save changes, and you can see it's immediately arrived. So it's the simplest we can make dashboards, and bringing that data that we want to monitor into here. And you can sort by different ranges up in the top here. You can compare to prior year budgets, or you can include specific things. When you want to create a report, you just hit this big, great create report button, and what it will do is I'll show you how that works. It will start commenting on that dashboard and the difference between the last time you ran that report to this time. Once that's created, you'll be able to see that it'll have some context here, and it'll have done its best to explain some of that. Whereas now you can see it's arrived, we can actually come in here and say and add more context yourself. Add or change any of this. The other thing you can do is make a suggestion. So it might be that you want these types of reports to be more action oriented or more concise, depending on who you're reporting to. But it's a good starter for 10, and it didn't take very long to do. And once you've done that, you will have all of your reports here from the history of time, so that you can see a consistent reporting structure. Another interesting place to go is your research side of things. So this is about desktop research that you can set up and go and ask more some deeper questions. That can be an internal topic, an external topic, or a combination of both, like a market comparison or something like that. You can see here we have some previously made reports. So the report was based on digital agencies around the UK. It's done its report on the screen, but also you can see the details behind the scenes of all the questions it's asked and answered, and you can generate a report to be a PDF or a Word document from there. You can also get it to update once you've done this research report once. You can have it check for updates weekly or monthly, and email when there are those reports, new information in those reports. So that's really great for things like legislation changes, or if you're monitoring particular markets, you will always get a notification when something happens and changes that you should be looking into. It equally will keep track of those things as they happen here. You can see the updates for this one, just keeps track of all of the different updates as they come through. You can also add those to your monitoring dashboards as well, and have not just financial graph data on there. Now let's go to our playbook section. A playbook is a job to be done, a kind of task that you'd like to do end to end, and have AI help you through that task. Now these are very controllable by myself and any of our advisors and partners who create their own, and I'll take you through a few examples. Some can be as simple as creating a policy, all the way through to creating your annual plan. So this one is an annual plan that I've done previously, and you can see here it steps back and forth with you in chat form to answer the set of questions on the side here. It's going to gather information as we go through each of the steps. And then once you get to the end, this one is quite a long one. It goes goals, performance metrics, budget, quarterly breakdown, all the way through to the action plan. Once you've confirmed all of those things, it will produce this final output, which is your full plan on a page that you can start sharing with other people. So the playbooks are really useful ways of being able to complete an end-to-end task. Now there's also the ability for that to be a shared playbook, so more than one person can fill one out. So a good example is having a one-on-one meeting. So as a manager, you might be selecting yourself to be the person who's going to do this one-on-one with someone, and you're selecting an employee who's going to fill in their part of that, and you can have the employee fill out their review of the month that's happened. That will come to you as the manager. You will do your part and create your notes, and then you'll have your meeting. And then once you have that meeting, you can actually put in your transcript, and from there will produce your final document that is about the whole end to end of that. So that's really great for you to be able to do things like doing updates, monthly updates or quarterly updates with your leadership team, or it can be as simple as doing a one-on-one. You can also repeat the playbook, so it takes all the context from the previous playbooks into the next way if it's a repeatable one, and schedule that so it happens on a regular basis. So our playbooks are really a great way of getting jobs done with AI, while also completely having control about making sure that that's accurate and useful. Now, advisors that we work with who are our partners, they also can create their own playbooks and share that just with their clients so that they can have a controlled way for them to work with their clients. So that's a really useful way of using your own IP and leveraging AI without sharing that with the LLMs themselves. We have a very secure system that keeps all your customer data, your client data, in a separate encrypted local database that is not shared directly with the LLM. And equally, so can advisors' data considered in its own database to be shared with their own customers. So a really interesting space to play in. We've had lots of really great success with our clients who are using this as advisors with their own organizations, such as accountants, consultants, head franchise groups, and also business coaches as well. So just let me know if you have any questions, but that's a good outline of where we're at. Thanks.